Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray release for Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. Now, this is going to be partially a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And now, when most people think of Guillermo del Toro, they think of movies like Hellboy, Hellboy 2, Blade 2, Pan's Labyrinth, Kronos, even Mimic. When I think of Guillermo del Toro, I think of Pan's Labyrinth, Blade 2, Hellboy, and The Devil's Backbone, which is a movie that I think unfortunately flies under the radar when people talk about Guillermo del Toro films, and that's really a shame because, in my opinion, this is one of Guillermo del Toro's best movies. The movie takes place in an orphanage during the Spanish Civil War, an orphanage inundated with the sons of soldiers who have passed away in combat. One day, a new orphan arrives there, and he's not exactly welcome with open arms, let's just say. However, he soon discovers that the orphanage harbors a very dark secret in the spirit of a young boy with a prophetic message that many will soon die. The Devil's Backbone is very much a human, character-driven kind of ghost story, as most really good ghost stories are. As a matter of fact, you could strip away all of the paranormal elements from this film, and you'd still have a very complicated, compelling character study. I love the relationships that the characters have in the film, the character arcs that take place during the film. For instance, you have the bully of the orphanage. However, you come to realize why he is such a bully. You have the doctor at the orphanage, who is a very meek and mild, but a very good man at heart. Actually, he's too good of a man, to be honest. And he's hopelessly in love with the school mistress, but he's never acted upon those feelings. The school mistress, a very stern but fair woman, is engaged in this almost incestuous relationship with a former orphan there who now is grown up and works as a handyman at the orphanage. However, he is only sleeping with the headmistress in an attempt to gain access to a hidden safe that contains stolen gold. So you've got a pretty complex story going on here with some complicated characters. The performances are great all around, particularly the young actors at the very heart of the story, and among them the young lead, who delivers an absolutely phenomenal performance in this film. From a technical standpoint, it's pretty standard Guillermo del Toro. The movie looks beautiful. It's beautifully photographed. The production design is great. The sets are great. The score is great. The movie has very much a fairy tale kind of quality to it, as do many Guillermo del Toro films, such as Pan's Labyrinth. As a matter of fact, Pan's Labyrinth and The Devil's Backbone share quite a few similarities. As revered as Guillermo del Toro is among genre film fans, it's kind of a testament to how many great movies he's made that one of his best movies, in The Devil's Backbone, can fly under the radar among the rest. The Devil's Backbone is a really good movie that you guys should check out. If you've not seen the film, by all means, go out and see it. This Blu-ray from the fine folks over at Umbrella Entertainment would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're a fan of The Devil's Backbone, you definitely want to look into this Blu-ray and consider adding it to your collection, because there are some very nice extras on here, and the picture and the sound quality on this release are both very good. As far as extras are concerned, we have a brief prologue with co-writer-director Guillermo del Toro, in which Mr. del Toro admits that The Devil's Backbone, along with Pan's Labyrinth, are his two favorite films of his. We have a featurette entitled Behind the Scenes, Spanish Gothic. It is just under 18 minutes in length. Guillermo del Toro discusses how the first screenplay for The Devil's Backbone was far more magical, far more akin to Pan's Labyrinth, and he discusses how he feels Pan's Labyrinth and The Devil's Backbone are really companion pieces dealing with a lot of the same themes. Del Toro discusses his love of both gothic horror and fairy tales, and discusses the fairy tale elements that are present in all of his films. Del Toro discusses the similarities between The Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth, and how both films depict the horrors of war, one through the eyes of a little boy, the other through the eyes of a little girl. He says that he considers The Devil's Backbone his first film because Kronos didn't turn out quite as he had envisioned it, and Mimic was a mess. So he says that The Devil's Backbone turned out exactly how he had envisioned it, and therefore The Devil's Backbone he considers to be his very first film. Next up, we have got What is a Ghost? The Making of The Devil's Backbone. It's about 27 minutes and 16 seconds in length. It includes interviews with Guillermo del Toro, co-writer Antonio Tresores, actors Fernando Tielv and Eduardo Noriega, art director Cesar Macaron, unit production manager Esther Garcia, and director of photography Guillermo Navarro, and more. They discuss the making of the film, from the screenplay through to the film's production, the makeup and visual effects, the film's casting, the individual performances in the film, the production design, and much, much more, with a lot of behind-the-scenes footage. Pretty much anything and everything you'd possibly want to know about the making of The Devil's Backbone is in this featurette. Again, 27 minutes and 16 seconds in length. Lots of interviews with people from both in front of and behind the camera, and they discuss the film throughout the entire process of making the film, pretty much. Very informative featurette there. We have got a Spanish language featurette, which is about 12 minutes in length. It includes interviews with Guillermo del Toro, co-writer Antonio Tresores, actors Eduardo Noriega, Federico Lupi, Fernando Tielv, director of photography Guillermo Navarro, and more. They discuss the making of the film. The actors discuss their individual characters and performances, etc. It's brief, and it covers a lot of the bases that they already covered in the What is a Ghost featurette, but nice little added extra there. We have deleted scenes. We've got a theatrical trailer. We've got storyboard comparisons. We've also got a feature entitled Director's Notebook, in which Guillermo del Toro discusses how Kronos, at the Cannes Film Festival, it won a prize. And part of that prize was $10,000. So he decided to take the money and go to Paris in order to visit a dissectionist museum. While at the dissectionist museum, he saw an exhibition of pickled corpses. Corpses pickled in jars. And above the corpses pickled in the jars, they listed the recipe for the pickling juice. So Guillermo del Toro whipped out his notebook and wrote down the recipe, which included rum, spices, and something else. He said it sounded pretty good. He then kept that notebook for years. And during the writing of The Devil's Backbone, which includes fetuses with spina bifida pickled in large jars, he whipped his notebook out, and there you have it. Very interesting story from Guillermo del Toro. He won $10,000, and his first thought was a dissectionist museum. He's an interesting cat. He also discusses the symbolism behind the unarmed bomb in the courtyard of the orphanage and the inspiration for the look of the ghost in the film. We also get an audio commentary with Guillermo del Toro and director of photography Guillermo Navarro. I watched about 20 minutes of the movie with the commentary. Guillermo del Toro is very insightful. He's very intelligent. It was quite technical, I will say, but he did pretty nice commentary from what I heard there, about 20 minutes or so of it. This is a very nice Blu-ray release for a very good movie. I urge you, go check out The Devil's Backbone. If you've not seen the film, this Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're a fan of The Devil's Backbone, this Blu-ray would make a great addition to your collection. Go watch The Devil's Backbone. I'll put a link to Umbrella Entertainment's website down in the description. If you've seen The Devil's Backbone, please let me know what you think of it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.